Viewer from Lakefield, not too far from the Iowa border, actually has a question about the Iowa border. Well, not about the Iowa border, but here's his question. The question is, the governor's budget plans to raise gas tax somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 cents. He's worried about whether local gas stations in southern Minnesota will be competing with northern Iowa. And of course, that specific question is of interest, but it's part of a larger picture, which is this whole question of transportation and where that issue might be going. Should we start with you, Senator Hoffman? What do you think?
Absolutely. I don't serve on transportation, but I live on one of the busiest, if not the busiest, highways in the state of Minnesota, Highway 10. I spent 9 years in Iowa traveling all 99 counties, and it's amazing. I wish he would say if he was from Kossuth County, because that's the only county that decided not to be the squirt. It's a larger county. We know we have a transportation infrastructure, and I think the debate's out there on how you're going to pay for it. When we did the One Minnesota, of course, folks were talking about paying for it by, doing cost shifts. And I said, well, wait a minute, we have to look at, finding some sustainable funding for it. I don't know where we sit at the end of the day, but hopefully the folks in transportation, and again, if you guys serve on transportation, are having the conversation about what this means to the net effect from your neighboring bordering towns.
Representative Torkelson? Lakefield's not in your district, but at least it's in that direction anyway.
That's right. Well, the governor's proposal for a gas tax has a 16 cent per gallon minimum, as I understand it, and if gas prices go up, it would go up from there. And they call it a wholesale gas tax, but it's applied just like our regular gas tax at the pump, cents per gallon. I think we first need to sit back and make sure that we've properly identified the need. We all know there is a need, but just how big is it? And how big the need is will help us define what kind of a transportation package we'll put together this year. I believe we will put one together that will address at least a good portion of our needs in transportation. As chair of the bonding committee, I expect to be a part of that conversation. There's some opportunities to do some bonding for transportation. There's some limitations there also. But we'll be looking at, I think, a mixed bag of different approaches to help our transportation system, including trying to be more efficient with the dollars we have.
Representative Samuelson, thoughts?
Right. So I think when we talk about defining the problem, it's interesting because when I first came to the legislature 2 years ago, this was a big topic of conversation then about, and MnDOT, quite frankly, came forward and said, look, we have a $12 billion deficit over the next 20 years that we need to fill just to fund state roads and bridges. And that's kind of evolved into a $6 billion 10-year problem now. But that comes from MnDOT, who I do consider to be the experts. So I think we've defined what the problem is in respect to, at least to roads and bridges. So the question is, how do we pay for this? And 2 years ago we were talking about this because I sat on the Transportation Committee for 2 years. And I think the collective decision was, let's push it off to 2015 and deal with it then, for good or for bad. But here it is 2015, and now we're having these discussions about this same transportation need, which hasn't gotten any smaller and continues to grow larger. And how do we pay for it? And I think the governor's budget has taken a responsible approach in throwing out, a mixed bag, if you will. And we can debate, whether the gas tax should be a part of that or should be larger, should be smaller. But at some point, we all have to admit that, hey, we've got a large deficit to fill here, and the only way to fill that is with new revenues. So where's it going to come from?
Well, it's certainly on the move. It's a target that's moving. Just the news tonight, Governor Dayton was actually saying that the February forecast is even a little bit more appealing. It appears that we may be actually gaining about another 150 to 200 million more than what was projected. So that leaves us $1 billion plus surplus. So do we? I guess the question is, do we deal with the $5 billion right out of the chute and go with a 50% increase in our gas tax? I mean, we're paying it 28% now. You add 16 to that, that's over a 50% increase in one fell swoop. Maybe still coming out of this economy. What we're talking about is that maybe we need to slow down and identify a little more about what we can do. But we certainly know that there are. They're getting to be a kind of a standing joke. The potholes. The potholes, as you remember, last session was one of the top things that people thought about. Even with all the things that we deal with down here, roads and bridges are something really near and dear to people. And in some areas, I know they've even got on and off ramps for the potholes. That's how bad they've gotten. You know, we kind of joke about that.
He was waiting for this.
It's like, can I get a rim shot on that?
But we also have to be responsible, and you know, the governor's office is noting this $1 billion plus now surplus. Do we need to be you know, raising that much all of a sudden here right out of the chute when the economy's starting to come back? That's where the discussions are at. So I don't think you see any proposals quite yet coming from our side, but not too in a too distant future. You will be seeing something, and it'll be a responsible action.
We're seeing some bipartisan bills being dropped both from the Senate and the House side, especially on Highway 10. Highway 10 is a joke. It's a mess, and we got issues with rail train safety. We got, you know, firefighters can't get to places because, you know, train tracks are being staged and cars are not getting off of Highway 10 to get onto the Ferry Street Bridge because there's trains coming that are blocking the north-south roads for that. So that's there. I travel every day. 610 now. Build it and they will come. 610 Target North is there. 7,000 now new employees, which is a good thing, and all the other businesses that we're building up there. We have rush hour now out in the on 610, believe it or not. And then I get on 252, and it's all fine when you get in the north part of North Minneapolis, but then you get to that Lowry Tunnel, and I can sit in front of that tunnel for 20, 25 minutes, hour and a half sometimes to get 30 miles here in the cities. Get on the North Star, I can get to my work in less than under an hour, and it's so there's lots of discussion out there. I'd sure like to have less stoplights on 252, and there's a lot of people up there that are agreeing with me.
But we're talking some pretty significant
Yeah.
increases here, even
Big
in the
money.
metro, another 0.5% in the metro to help alleviate traffic, and you know, so those are pretty large jumps all at once. But he's got a proposal on the table.
Yep.
That's what the governor does this time of the year, and we'll go from there.
Well, Barry, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Highway 14. It's a big issue in my part of the world, and as much a safety issue as a capacity issue, but we have New Ulm is the largest city in my district. There's a lot of trucking companies there, and their only way out of town is on a 2-lane road. We've got a chunk of 14 we'd like to get up to 4-lane and make sure those companies can thrive.
All I'm going to say about Highway 14 is that I graduated from Mankato High School in 1973, and when I was attending Franklin Junior High School in the late 60s, we were talking about Highway 14. So, I know.
My goodness, mine was in 1970.
I know.
That makes
Well,
me the oldest one at the table.
I wasn't even 5 years old then.
but there's a reason for that receding hairline we discussed earlier. All right, so moving on.